This is Den Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast. I'm Dennis, and I'll be your host as we explore the latest Marvel happenings across all media, as well as the occasional off-brand superpowered story. And when I say we, I'm referring to an assembly of nerd Avengers that all waste no time introducing. First up, he spent part of this week replaying X-Men Origins Wolverine, and I'm curious about that. It's Frank.
Hey, yes, I did. I did spend that time. It was pretty fun, man. I was thinking about starting a stream of mostly Marvel video games, and so I was going through my backlog. I was playing that and Incredible Hulk.
Okay,
not the good one. Yeah, not the good one.
Okay, because can you even stream Incredible Hulk? I guess you could. With an Elgato, you could.
Yeah, and that's what I was using to stream my my Wolverine game.
Were you streaming Wolverine while we were doing Secret Santa?
I was, yeah, I was.
That's funny.
I thought it'd be funny. I thought it'd be a funny thing to do. Because I was just going through the level. I was kind of BSing the level.
Yeah, and are you streaming yourself also, or just the game?
I was streaming myself, and I'm all like, no, I look like a turd. Like I need to not stream myself.
And yet you do this show every week.
And yet I do this show every week, looking like a turd.
Nice. A year's worth of this show looking like a turd.
Well, the thing is, when I'm playing a video game, I'm like drooling and making stupid faces.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's true. Well, speaking of turds and stupid faces, let's get somebody else out here. He's endured a year of abuse, mostly from me on this show, and I do it all for your entertainment, and so does he. It's Ricky.
I don't think you look like a turd, Frank.
Oh, thank you.
You look like shit.
Just straight shit.
And there goes our audience.
We did it. We're at the end of the year, man.
We did it. Just to spoil the surprise, we decided this week not to do a show next week for the New Year's Eve time slot that we would normally be in. So this is your last show of Den Excelsior. They're gonna get it for the year, but we did it. We did 47 episodes, so we only took 3 weeks off this whole year, other than the 2 weeks where the show didn't exist at the beginning of the year because there was nothing to do. So yeah, it's pretty good. But Ricky, I do appreciate all the abuse you took. I had fun this week reflecting on all the old shows, and I think the abuse has definitely gotten better throughout the year. So you should definitely record an "It Gets Better" PSA.
Like better for you or better for me?
Better for everyone.
Sure, for everyone. You definitely upset the hell out of me in the first half of that year. I was rewatching those, and I'm like, yeah, I see it now. Like that was some anger, but it's cool now. It's cool. You know how to work the buttons mostly. Yeah. By the way, we did not have an outro video last week on our show.
Oh, I fucked up the intro on this one, so you'll figure that one out later.
So here's to the next 47 weeks, guys.
All right.
We're gonna do it. Yeah. But yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back with maybe a fresh coat of paint and some other stuff for the next year. We'll have to meet at some point to talk about if we want to do anything about the music or changing
Pandemic round 3, baby.
Yeah, but I think we definitely learned some things along the way, and we learned that bingo is not the best thing ever for the show, but it's good for the kids. It's good for the kids. But I definitely think Contest of Champions got a lot better. It made the show more fun and engaging. And I think it made it more fun for our special guests and dogs too. Any dogs?
Yeah, the dog agrees.
Yeah, the dog's very happy about it. So speaking of special guests, we do have one last special guest for the year. very, very special guest because it's pretty hard to pull somebody into a Christmas Eve podcast. But you can find her art and illustrations at seacowsoda.com and follow her on Instagram at seacowsoda. Welcome back, Lindsay.
Hello. Happy to be back. Merry
you did it.
Christmas. Congratulations on 47 shows. That's a lot. Well done, guys.
It's a lot.
And yes,
of
I agree that you have abused Ricky less.
Yeah.
As we've kept going
I
along with all the episodes.
lost the love of Frank's wife, though. So
Yes.
Aw.
She was your biggest fan. Like she was totally.
I
Once
forgot about
you stop getting so abused, she
you should get her a cameo from me for Christmas.
I think what happened was once she discovered Animal Crossing, like she was just kind of over the show.
that makes
She
sense.
was all like, I've got a few hours without Frank. I'm going to play Animal Crossing. This is great.
That's fair. That's fair. Lindsay, welcome back again. Thank you so much, and thanks for wrangling the dogs all the time.
Yeah.
She's
you for having
streaming from the other room right now, and hopefully the
So
dogs
far
are
away.
nice and worn out. I mean you're streaming from Kamala Khan's room right now. It's pretty cool looking. I like that.
That does look pretty
Minor.
neat. It
Thank
took
you.
1 second to realize it wasn't like MCU background, green screen background.
Mm.
We have
Just
yet to
'cause-
see Captain
It's kinda
Marvel in the
Christmassy.
game, right?
It looks pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she's
That's
right there. You can see her in there.
Oh, like as a playable
Oops, wrong
character,
one.
she should have been in by now, right?
Oh man,
Captain Marvel.
I
Oh
don't-
man, let's
You
not
know-
Now
let's
you're
not
making it
rehash
awkward.
that.
that was the other thing I noticed as I was revisiting all the episodes for the year. We started this show hating on Avengers. Like, please let's not end this show hating on Avengers.
Too late.
First episode we were hating on it, and we just continued to do that all year long. That poor game. Whatever. It's fine.
I love
But-
Captain Marvel and Ultimate Alliance. She's fantastic. Well,
Oh,
not three.
Ultimate Alliance 3, she's really good.
Well,
She has a
she's good in
good,
3, but I was talking about 1. I'm talking about.
You're always talking about one.
I love part 1. That's going
She
on
has
my
a good
stream.
Fortnite skin. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
Ooh,
Captain,
really?
Captain Marvel with the gun.
yeah,
Yeah.
Captain Marvel with a gun.
I like
Excellent.
them with the gun. It's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, so before we get on to talking about all the other stuff, let me get some formalities out of the way, but then I do have a fun question for everybody. But the formalities are, as advertised, we will be putting a spotlight on episode 6 of Hawkeye today. But before we do that, Ricky's going to have some nerd news to discuss for us. Also, for those of you joining us live, don't be shy. We'll be checking the comments regularly. And for those of you that can't get enough of us, you should visit us at patreon.com/denixmedia, where you'll find a variety of creative offerings, including recent episodes of our live after show, The Soapbox. There will not be an episode tonight because Christmas Eve, and we probably have other cool stuff to go do tonight. But we do love doing the Soapbox because it just gives us a chance to engage with our patrons. And so if that's something that sounds interesting to you, please check it out. And yeah, there's a lot of other free stuff on there too. But speaking of cool stuff on Christmas Eve, the thing I wanted to ask you guys is, I believe everybody here does actually celebrate Christmas. So I was just curious, what's a cool tradition that you're looking forward to celebrating either today or tomorrow? Lindsay goes first.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are having Christmas dinner tonight right after the show. I always love having like a lamb bolognese for Christmas. We started that about like 2 or 3 years ago now. So
What
looking
is that?
forward to enjoying that. It's like a pasta that you cook with like lamb, and it's slow cooked. So it just tastes really super good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was just making sure it wasn't a soup for Ricky. I didn't want to offend
No,
Ricky.
no soup.
Mm-mm.
Although soup is delicious. So
Yeah, soup's great. It's definitely A tier food.
A+, I'd say.
A+ tier. Yeah.
It's all shit.
I mean, at this point, I'm not sure that's a derogatory thing.
But I mean,
you
like,
said Frank looks like shit.
isn't
Yeah,
like
thank you.
soup kind of a Christmas tradition for you, though, Ricky? Because I definitely remember eating a lot of Christmas morning pozole
Mhm.
with
Did
your
you ever,
family.
did you ever see me with the pozole?
Checkmate.
You don't eat it?
I don't know.
Mm,
No.
I
Really?
I really
did
don't.
not notice that. Do you
Your
have any favorite
grandma,
Christmas
your
foods?
grandma wakes me up at 5 a.m. because I sleep in the same room next to the kitchen, so that she can make that for you.
I
and you
remember
don't
there
even-
was a tamale person there, or well, no, what was the tamales?
We call them Mexicans now, Ricky.
There was a person who was not part of our family cooking in that kitchen at various points. A
No.
few, right?
No,
Some lady brought in
From
food.
random person.
bring in is different from cook.
Okay, bring in
It-
for some lady brought in food.
Somebody
that was
drops
good.
stuff off and leaves, but nobody comes into the house and cooks.
But
No.
non-food traditions, if I think about it, I don't think I've ever opened presents on Christmas Day or like in the morning, like ever in my life.
Really, ever?
It just seems weird.
Oh, I'm glad to know that this is not something that she supports. Selena does not agree with your appreciation of food.
Like-
that gives her points in my book. I suddenly love her more.
It's just a liquid. It's not a thing for me. Like
I think pozole is good.
I'll eat the
Liquid-
meat out of the
Yeah, from your
pozole.
grandma
I just
too,
won't.
and it's
I just
super
won't sip
good.
it. Like I'll give you my broth afterwards when I'm done. Then
I appreciate that.
It's a fair trade.
Oh my
Sounds good.
god.
I'll drink it.
This year's gonna end with us
With
shaming
murder.
him on soup some more.
How about you, Frank? Any traditions?
Not really. No. We buck a lot of traditions, and any tradition that we do create, we usually go against it the next year. So I don't know. We don't really have anything. We're probably gonna open gifts tonight, I think, but that's probably it. We're gonna have pozole tomorrow, and that wasn't something we did last year. So
Nice.
Good.
So your
That way it'll
tradition is
end
like a lack
next
of
year.
traditions.
my tradition is to actively go against tradition.
Go against tradition as much as
Yeah.
possible. That's a tradition.
Yeah.
So
I
like
guess
next
that's a
year you
tradition.
have to repeat it. Like
Yeah.
you have to repeat exactly what you did this year now that you know.
just to buck the tradition.
Just
yeah.
to buck the
yeah.
tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Interesting. Okay.
What about you, Dennis? Or was Lindsay's answer your answer?
I mean, technically, Lindsay's answer is absolutely the answer I would go with every time. Like that's like I love pasta so much, and I love that she makes a slow cooked lamb bolognese to go on top of some pasta. Generally, she makes the pasta fresh on Christmas Eve as well. But I'm sacrificing that so that we can do this show together. This is what I'm giving for the show.
Last Christmas, I Uber Eats the pizza like at 11 p.m. on Christmas Eve. And
You're that guy.
I-
You're that
I-
guy.
Did you
Tip
tip her really
well.
good? I hope
I
you
mean,
tipped
he
her
didn't
really
have
good.
to. He didn't. I did, but he didn't have to take the order. Like
He didn't have to take.
he
the
didn't have
order,
to. It's
he
a gig
said.
economy, baby. He accepted the job, so I don't feel
You
bad
know-
about it.
You know, like I was trying to help Lindsay out with like because she's been making a lot of meals this week and stuff, and so I decided last night to buy her to order in dinner to have it delivered. And I was like, yeah, I decided to get it last night because I didn't want to be that guy that orders takeout on Christmas Eve. But yeah, that's
I mean,
It was
a
real good
local,
too. We got
local
wings and
pizza
things.
place. So
we got epic
Mhm.
wings. That's what
We
they're
put
called now.
all
You know
these
that,
different
Frank?
like hot
Yeah, I
sauces
saw
on
that.
it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh,
Yeah,
you guys
we
used
put-
the hot sauce from
we did
the show?
we did hot
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
you want to
So
like
this time what we did is we ordered honey barbecue wings and then
And just like
so they're
mix a little hot
so they have no
sauces in it.
spice on them naturally, and then
So
we put
Christmassy.
and
I'm
then we put that on
over
them. Yeah.
chicken wings, boneless wings all day
Yeah, we know about your poor taste. We know about your poor taste.
because
You
the
know.
wing.
Lena's comment times a million right now.
See, what's
The-
hilarious is that you're like, oh,
Boneless
because
wings and
it's
no
so much
soup.
less work. You know what's the least
No,
amount
it's
of
not
work
less
ever
work.
to eat? Drinking
It's not.
something.
No, the chicken, the little vessel, is just a vessel for the sauce.
The vessel.
So if I can have a better gripping vessel for a sauce, I'm gonna choose that.
You're
100
not
times.
eating good chicken, is what that's telling me.
I'm eating good sauce. I'm not there for the chicken. I'm there for the sauce.
Okay, I gotta agree with Ricky, but only because I often like to play a lot of video games or like
Yeah, eat it with a fork.
or I'm doing work or whatever, and yeah, so I'll eat it with the fork. Yeah, so
I
just
eat
hand
all of
it
my
to me.
wings with a fork.
What the heck?
I eat
Yeah,
all of
bone
my wings
wings
with a
are
fork.
super messy, but
Look
I
at
don't know.
this is
Yeah.
the face
I
of a
just
man who
really
ate
like
wings
bone
2 hours
wings.
ago.
How do you eat wings with the bones with a fork?
Yeah.
Because I'm talented.
Just like holds it like this.
I also only have
Yeah.
one good hand.
You also
So
get more
what are
meat
you guys
on a
doing wrong?
boneless.
You get more inferior meat.
Okay, yeah, I'll take.
Anyways.
I'm not above a chicken nugget.
But you just made it about the
I
meat.
do like
a minute ago.
nuggies.
Yeah,
Nuggies are good too.
hot one nuggies would be
Yeah.
good.
Oh, what?
Anyways, that was our
Good.
Christmas debate for the year of 2021. But I think we should switch gears back over to Marvel stuff for at least a little bit. We can come back to hating on Ricky some more later on in the show. But Ricky, I think you've got some news prepared for us.
Some news. Let's do it. let's
You
I
gotta love a news anchor that just really hypes you up for what they're about to tell you.
I'm not using the Elgato thing right now, so it's a little tricky.
Like, I got some news.
I mean, there's some
Yeah,
news.
some stuff happened, I guess.
You guys want to talk about Spider-Man some more?
Yeah.
Sure.
do it.
Yeah.
It broke the box office. Yeah,
Told ya.
Spider-Man. As of this show, I pulled up the numbers, and it has done coming up on $390 million.
That's domestic.
Domestic,
Yeah, it's
which
like,
is the second highest domestic opening of all time, behind
it's-
Infinity War.
and it's close to what is it, 900 worldwide right now, something like that. Or is
Something
it
like
800
that.
something?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on track to be a $1 billion movie in the next
And-
week or so.
And do we have numbers for how many COVID cases are because of this movie have been
Probably-
transmitted?
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot.
That was
Yeah.
the real plot of the villains for that movie.
Yeah. I'm joking, but like I love that movie. It was great. I would consider seeing it again at some point when the theaters are far more empty. But yeah, anybody who hasn't seen it yet, I recommend it. I got texts like last night and today from our friend Nas, who's just like, I guess just watched it yesterday, and he's like, "Bro, Spider-Man." I'm like, "Yeah, it's excellent," So I just keep getting those texts throughout the week because people find time to go do it and stuff. So it's pretty fun movie. Not gonna spoil it, but I think you had some extra stuff to talk about that is in the realm.
I mean, we were talking in the pre-show that you were saying that not only is the movie successful, but it's also kind of lifting the stock of the other Spider-Men in those movies, and has a lot of fans calling for some more of the Toby and the Andrew variants, as we'll call them.
I'm hearing more Andrew than Toby
So am I.
at least on Twitter.
So am I.
Yeah,
Twitter
which is great
is,
because
Twitter is trending.
He needs that part 3 with Venom and
Well,
Sandman.
he has his Oscar
Yeah.
bait stuff right now. Like, if you're gonna do something, strike it while it's hot right now.
There's a lot of fandom that's suddenly mysteriously requesting the Amazing Spider-Man 3 happens finally, and I'm all for it because I would love to see him in a good Spider-Man movie.
People
That
should
would
have
be-
watched
would
Amazing
be amazing.
Spider-Man 2. Like,
They don't
you know
have
what's
to.
crazy though? Like I forgot the article, but it kind of brought in like how the Sony leak stuff that happened around that time kind of was part of the reason why that movie didn't get a third. Not the whole reason, but a piece of that puzzle.
That was a big piece of that puzzle. Yeah.
So it's curious to think of like the effects of that event, 10 years, 15 years down the line.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're in a golden age right now of Spider-Man content. So just give it all to us. Give it all.
I mean, shit, we're about to have 3 Spider-Man centric films in 12 months. Venom, No Way Home, and Morbius. There's
if you consider those Spider-Man centric movies that don't have Spider-Man.
There's a picture of Spider-Man in Morbius.
And that is not the definition of centric.
Can we use centric? Like, can we say like
Yeah.
circumtrick?
They're spider-ish movies.
They're
Okay, ish is
revolve.
Dudes
Ish
who
is
hang
still-
with
Well,
Spider-Man.
it's just Sony wants to make that moolah.
Yeah.
And get like the piece
Yeah.
of the superhero pie. So I understand
Yeah,
why there's
I definitely
You got
wouldn't-
Olivia Wilde's Spider-Woman movie coming.
I
think
definitely
close.
wouldn't go with Spider-Man centric, but sure. You have-
spider movies.
What Sony Pictures has the rights to.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of that.
There
That's
you
pretty much
go.
what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Into the
That's it, yeah.
Spider Verse. You know.
Frank,
A lot of-
on a scale of 1 to spicy, how do you rank that last news story from Ricky?
I give it like wings and things, extra wet, maybe medium.
I'll take
Is there
it.
like
I
an
will-
actual scale, or is it like a free form, whatever you're
It's a
feeling?
free form.
It's just free form,
Oh,
whatever we're
okay.
feeling. Yeah, we just make it up.
Freeform.
I see.
I'll
Lindsay.
post receipts from the chat, but there was going to be no news this week. So,
That doesn't mean we can't criticize the news you bring
Alright.
us. All right.
okay. How about the next bit of news?
Yeah.
We got more.
This is actually a pretty big one.
Oh,
Frank-
I
Frank-
realized
I'm seeing it in the previews. I'm all like,
the title of this article was weird.
Oh no.
So the Punisher is ditching his skull logo.
Ooh,
Well, not exactly.
interesting.
Not exactly. It's still got a skull logo. It's
He's
just
still got a skull
extra.
logo.
What is he changing over to?
Like
Flower.
show-
It's just a big flower.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be sweet.
It's a little,
Oh, it's like a
demony
demony
skull.
thing.
With tusks.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we know why. We know why Marvel's
Yeah,
doing this.
It's the political co-opting of the logo, correct?
Yeah, they're
I don't feel like that's really that different, though.
whatever. It's different enough that if they want to go copy that one, then he can switch back to the other one after they do that.
I like the tusk. In
true.
my own headcanon, that tusk is actually a big mustache, like a sweet handlebar
it,
mustache.
yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, I totally
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, his symbol has been appropriated by a lot of crappy people over the years, and so they just decided, you know what, this fictional character does not agree with the
He is
ideology
more
of
than
a lot of
just a
people.
logo. So
It's true. It's true. I think the reason I really don't care about
Mhm.
this is because superheroes get costume and logo switches
Yeah.
all the time. So, who knows? Maybe 20 years from now, he's back to the regular thing and something else is different.
He should have just
being
switched it
Oh,
to
co-opted.
that's
Pepe.
true. Like Spider-Man's logo changes a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just constantly different for all
Just
the
a different spider.
suits.
Ricky, did
Yeah.
you say he should have changed it to Pepe? Was that your words?
yeah,
Okay.
adopt, bring Pepe back
cool.
into the
be awesome.
limelight.
It kind of looks like the Mandalorian. I don't know.
A little
thing
little
to
mud.
me.
Oh,
horn.
it
Yeah.
does look like the
The
Mandalorian,
Mudhorn?
the Mudhorn symbol.
Like
of
his
the Mandalorian.
own like spiritual symbol or
Yeah.
whatever.
Maybe the Punisher's a really big fan of the Mandalorian.
So
which
when
is-
the Capitol
kinda
gets
cool.
stormed again, we just got to be on the lookout for this new logo.
Oh God.
Oh
That's-
God.
That's
Yeah,
Are you planning something? Is there a reason we're not doing a show next week, Ricky?
Oh,
no,
he's
it's January
going to DC.
6th. Yeah.
Yeah, anniversary's coming up.
Just don't use logos for characters that I really like. Like if they go storm the Capitol with like a Spider-Man logo, I'm gonna be pissed because then he's
Well,
gonna
now-
have like a little daisy, like a sunflower, like Post Malone.
Well,
It's a
now
sunflower.
they're gonna do it.
Now, yeah.
Great.
Whenever I do nefarious shit, I'm gonna be wearing a Spider-Man shirt now.
It'd be like courtesy your friendly neighborhood Ricky, and I'm like, shit. Now they gotta change that.
I'm not sure, but I feel like that's the kind of person that's watching. You know who else is watching?
Moving
Our friend Sir John from over in I believe he's over in Europe. What's the time zone over
Oh
there?
yeah, Sir John.
Yeah, go to bed.
Welcome back.
Nice logo, Sir John.
Go to
Mhm.
bed.
Reminds me of the HBO Aquaman and their obsession with booties.
He
Oh, yeah.
legit reads Punisher, guys. Max is his favorite.
Nice.
Well, hopefully you still keep reading the Punisher, even though
Mhm.
he did the same thing that every superhero ever does, which is change their costume.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd be curious to know what you think about the logo, or if you like the logo change, or if you dislike it, or
You look kind of clean cut in that picture that you showed, Ricky.
Me?
Yeah, sometimes he does.
Frank
Frank.
Castle. He looked a little
Yeah.
clean cut.
Sometimes he
Yeah,
does. It's
he trims up.
I think he shaves like once a year, and then he looks really good. He looks really.
He looks
good
really
when he
good
shaves.
for that 1 week. And
oh,
then,
you're right. Yeah.
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 Maybe
Yeah.
he
And
grows
he
facial
starts
hair.
like growing it out.
Yeah.
He grows it as slow as I do. Like this is the product of maybe a week's worth of
Chappy.
growing.
Nice.
What's
I
that?
hear your puppy, Ricky.
So,
Yeah.
Ricky, do you got any more, or is that it?
That's it for the news.
Okay.
That was pretty spicy.
You
The
like that
Punisher
one?
logo?
I thought that was a spicy conversation.
How spicy?
I would say, let's see, definitely not DeBomb level spicy. Like maybe Tomasa level spicy. Like it sneaks up on you a little bit.
All right, that's like
Just
the
like
number
the
4,
insurrection.
3 spot.
It sneaks up on you a little bit.
Yeah. You're like, ooh, this is hotter than I thought it would be.
Sir John's giving us a little insight into the kind of characters that he's into. The Human Plus stories.
Yep.
Nice. Jessica Jones is pretty sweet.
Yes, she is.
I loved Alias. You're the one that turned me on to that, Dennis.
Yep. Alias is a great comic.
Dennis turned me on to Alias too.
Is that show with Jennifer Gardner tied to that Jessica Jones?
No, not at all.
I don't think
Okay.
so. I think she plays Electra.
That was a serious question.
I know. I didn't laugh at it.
Okay.
I laughed at it. It's fine.
Yeah. No, it's unrelated completely. It just kind of coincidental that both came out about the same time.
It's still Joss, right?
I believe. No, nothing to do with Joss. Neither one has anything to do with Joss.
Is that what's the other one?
Oh, that's the idiot. That's the idiot that's ruined Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yes, JJ. That's JJ.
Oh, JJ Abrams.
Yeah. It's that guy.
He ruined.
I do. So that's cool. I'm glad you don't think that.
No.
He's the idiot that ruined. That's funny.
Yeah.
I thought they were fun. I don't think they were fulfilling. It was like eating some chicky nuggies. I think it was really fun, but it was good in the moment. And then later on, man, you pay for it. Pay for it hard.
I see. All right. Well, Sure John's updating us to let us know he is from Albania and asking us to read the Huntress. But then back to our earlier question. He said he doesn't mind the outfit as long as the stories are solid.
That's
really
right.
I like that attitude.
That's the
Good
correct
attitude.
answer.
Mm-hmm.
Correct answer. As long
Also,
as it's
Shin-Chan is amazing. Just saying.
there you go. All right. But I appreciate Sir John that you're chatting with us. Keep it coming. We're gonna be moving on right now, I think, to the Contest of Champions. I know Frank had some trouble getting something whipped up together. It's been a busy week. I don't blame you. It's holiday week. You got to get a lot of stuff wrapped up before tomorrow. But I think Frank is still got something for us.
I am going to co-op Ricky's 10 questions.
Game.
Nice.
I want to play. Now I get to play.
I'm gonna steal
Pull
it.
the game out of your butt. I love it.
It's gonna be Stiltman. That's the answer.
Ricky, play the button.
And
You played it right on Lindsay. That was good.
Oh,
That was good.
you told me to play it. You're the boss. Sorry.
Stomped over our guest. Very, very
Sorry.
good.
What were you saying, Lindsay?
I don't even remember. It's okay. Let's play.
No.
Let's play.
All right, I've written down a character's name, so now I know who this person is.
Nice.
You guys ask 10 questions.
All right. 10 questions. And this is a Marvel character, right? That doesn't count as one of my questions.
This is
So
this is a Marvel character. That's one question.
Okay,
Now you're down to 9 questions.
So we're guessing
that's
a Marvel
the-
character, right? And then we get 10 questions. And then if people in the comments ask questions, it's free. So it doesn't count, right? Those are the rules.
Yep. If people ask in the
Sweet.
quick chat. Yep. So
Lindsay,
get
you're
Ricky,
the
ask
guest.
a question.
Lindsay,
Get
No,
the
Ricky,
chat to just
Ricky should
blast
ask
questions.
a question
Okay,
because
Ricky
you
wants
never
to
get
go
to
first.
play.
Ricky
Do it,
wants to go
Ricky.
first.
Does this hero's origins
Well, you already
Does-
assumed they're a hero.
Yeah, don't ask it like
does
that,
this hero
Ricky.
does this character have origins on Earth?
Origins on Earth. Yes.
Okay.
Go, Lindsay, go.
Is this character a hero?
Yes.
Ooh, I don't like that hesitation.
Was this character created before 1970?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So it's a newish person.
Well, I mean, a lot of them
Was
were
this
created
character
before
created
1970.
before 2000?
Wow, he's just burning our questions.
Yeah, he's just. Was the character created before 2000?
The year 2000.
No, they were not created before.
Okay,
2000.
does that help? Here you go.
Is
All
this
right.
character male?
No.
Okay.
Is this character white?
Whoa, Lindsay, you're skipping turns here.
You want me to answer that? We answered that one?
Skipping turns.
I will answer
No.
Lindsay's question if you want.
All right. Are we keeping track of how many questions that
Yeah,
is?
that will be question 6
shit.
if you count it.
All right. Are they
All right. Count it.
Well,
count
it's
it.
a post 2000 question. It's a
Yeah.
good
Yes,
question.
the person is white.
Okay.
4 more questions. Well, 3 more if you don't count that
I
one.
feel like we got a good window here, right?
Yeah.
New dude on Earth. We don't know if it's a dude. It's new person on Earth.
She asked if it was a male or female.
She did ask if
I asked if it was male, and he said
Okay.
no.
He said no. Yeah.
So new white female.
But I like that you went to dude automatically.
New
Yeah,
new
they could
white
be-
female.
It could be non-binary or other
Sir John,
things.
feel free to help us out by asking Frank questions. It's cool. It's cool to do it.
Or Selena. Or you
Or
can
Selena.
keep trash talking.
Yep, it's
Ricky's
Selena.
food
You guys got it.
preferences.
It's-
You got-
Does white vision?
Oh, I thought that was the guess. Dang. Okay, never mind.
Okay. This character is created after 2000.
Mhm.
It's a white, probably female,
Character.
Ooh.
who is heroic? Question
Ah,
mark.
Is this person in the Young Avengers?
No.
Or have they been in the Young Avengers? I guess is the real question.
I'll give you that as a freebie. No. No and no and no. They're not
Okay.
related to Young Avengers.
Mm,
Possibly Runaways, Lindsay.
Man. Ooh, there's a question. Free question.
Sir
You have an
John.
answer.
Is she
Is-
blonde? No.
Like,
well-
he means naturally. By the way,
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Okay.
We should ask if this character's in the MCU
I'm
or
actually
not, right?
I'm averaging it. I'm averaging their appearances and
Okay.
going by if they've been blonde.
Has this character appeared
Oh.
in the MCU?
Oh man.
Averaging their appearances.
No. No. I don't think so. Now it's all weird now, but no.
Okay. What are we on our last question or?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
one more
no.
before we
Last
answer.
question.
Oh,
This
wait,
game is
no?
hard. It's only 10.
It is
We gotta
hard.
bump it. We should bump it to 20. I think we can do it. We can entertain a 20 question. Not on this round.
10 is
but
hard, man.
for the next one.
10 is pretty rough. I think
Woo.
I could see it on Dennis's face almost. Let's see if he gets it. You guys are
Bring
on.
us home. Bring us home, Dennis.
I'm just stalling for Sir John to ask more questions.
Over 20 is no. That's a no.
Oh, that's helpful.
Ooh, maybe, yeah, Runaways?
Oh,
Yes.
white, non-male, under 20.
This is not a question. Is it Carolina? If it's Runaways?
Wait, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a question for Frank. This is a discussion.
Currently, that's the only one I can think of.
Shoot your shot.
But I feel like
It's probably wrong, though. Ah. Just do it.
you asked if she's been in the MCU though, right?
Yep.
That was Runaways technically MCU though.
That's why. Yeah.
Oh.
You're getting it. You're getting it,
And
guys.
and then also he was like,
And send it.
All right. Well,
he's also like, I'm not sure if they're here or not.
An-
It
answer
kind of
his-
makes sense for
answer his last-
Carolina.
Answer Sir John's last question here.
Does she have weapons?
No.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ah.
All right.
Weapons
You
at all?
want to go with Carolina or Carolina from Runaways?
Yeah.
The Raptor
Is that what we
girl.
want to do? All right, Frank. Is it her?
No.
Arsenic
no.
and old lace.
Yeah.
wait,
you
no,
were so-
wait.
Is it?
Carolina. Guys, Carolina.
Is it
Carolina's
Gertie?
blonde. Carolina's
She's a blonde. She's a blonde.
Why would you?
She's
yeah.
a blonde.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Lindsay-
it can't be
Lindsay-
Carolina.
Yeah. Why did you throw me off that one?
Sorry, my bad.
I was
We
like,
were
wait a
close,
second, she's
though.
blonde.
We were
It's
really
Gertie.
close.
It's Gertie.
It's
It's-
Gertie.
You had it on the next shot. You had it on the bounce,
Shoot.
just like Andrew
It's
Garfield.
Gertie.
I like
Yeah.
Gertie better than Carolina
Sir,
too.
Sir John had
The-
the right the
The
question.
Raptor. Girl.
Yeah, the Raptor girl.
Well,
I
that
like
was
her. She's
that
cool.
was we got pretty close, but then
That was
Lindsay threw
good.
me off with
Yeah.
the blonde.
Sorry, it's hard
It's
to
cool.
hold 10 facts in my head at once.
And that's why
I know, I know.
the two questions that kind of gave me pause the most was, is she blonde? Because I don't know what her natural hair color is.
I think
she's not.
it's brown.
Is it brown? Okay.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
knew she wasn't a
Yeah.
natural purple head. I don't know how many purple.
I don't
heads
know
there
about
are.
the
She would
I
have
don't-
to turn herself blonde in order to dye her hair purple. So
I mean, after this week, I'm pretty sure those shows are on MCU.
she's
And
got some
that's what-
other hair colors too, right?
well,
And that's what
those-
also gave me pause
to
too.
define those shows. I don't think this week did anything to do it to say those shows aren't. So
I would lump those in the Agents of Shield universe,
why they have no crossover ever.
just like they don't have any crossover in the MCU.
But they do. They reference the MCU.
Yeah, her original hair color is brown.
So do those.
Is it
shows.
brown? She's a brownie.
Thanks, Google.
No, and so does Daredevil. So suck it.
I think they show
So
her
good.
brown hair in the comics at some point. I think
Do they?
I think so.
Dang, I'm trying to remember.
We got to find a better way to ask the hair color question.
I agree.
Does she have natural hair? Does she have natural
No,
color?
like,
hair
is
or
she more
something?
famous for like this type of hair?
Oh, fair. That's a good one.
You know.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Good
Also-
job,
That was
Frank,
good. That was
pulling
good.
that
That
out
was
your
good.
butt.
Oh,
It
thank
was
you, thank
pretty
you.
good, Frank. We got close. We got really close.
You guys got super
Well,
close, and I'm
I
all
feel
like,
like
shit.
if we would have been patient and
But-
waited for Surgeon a few more seconds, then we would have gotten it.
Yeah,
It's
There's
all right.
always
It's
always
in
a
the
delay.
spirit of the holidays or something.
By the way,
something like that.
apologies, Surgeon. There's always a delay from when you type it and when it shows up
Yeah.
for us. So we don't necessarily get to see your question as soon as you'd like us to.
We have to like sit here
Yeah.
twiddling our thumbs.
Yeah, sorry about that, but you
That was
did
good,
you did help us a lot. Those are some good extra questions. The over 20 thing
Excellent
really
work.
helped. Yeah.
Yeah, over 20
Yeah.
things sunk in. I was like, damn, he's checkmating me. Shorter. Oh, I didn't even see the shorter than 5.
I think
Five.
honestly,
See what
that's
I'm
probably
saying?
one of the Marvel teams I know the most about too. So that worked well for me.
It was. That was a very Lindsay. Hey, by the way, this is so crazy. When I wiki Runaways,
I guess it could have been
it-
Molly too,
It is
technically.
set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Does it say that?
Yeah,
Oh
funny.
no!
sharing
I don't
continuity,
think it counts,
sharing
though.
continuity with the films and other television.
Like I learned
I
in
don't
school,
think it
you
counts.
can't always
Oh.
trust Wikipedia.
Isn't Nico showing up in something? I feel like I read that somewhere.
Oh, is she?
Like Nico's crossing over
Nico,
somewhere.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nico Minoru likely ends up in the Doctor Strange story at some point.
Yeah, next time I'll have to answer with that MCU question. I'll have to answer yes with an asterisk at all times. I
Yeah,
think.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't blame
Which
her.
Runaway has the coolest power? Do you guys think?
Ooh.
Or maybe
Hmm.
which power would you want? Maybe that's a better question, if any.
I want the Raptor.
The Raptor's pretty sick.
No, the Raptor is
Old
not
Lace.
because here's the problem with Old Lace is every episode of the Runaways they have to put her in a dumpster because they can't
That's
bring
true.
her into public.
You can't
It's
afford
kind
her.
of it's kind of like
Yeah.
if you have like a dog that's really poorly behaved.
Yeah,
and you have
and
to
you're trying
like
and you're trying to
take care of them all
yeah,
the time.
it's like a million
Like
times
our
worse.
dog.
It's like a million times worse than having a
Don't
dog.
blame the breed.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
about being
It's not the
worried.
breed's fault.
I definitely like Nico's Staff of One. I think I'd probably want that.
Yeah, that one is cool.
I think it's
but
hilarious how she has to like pull it out of her chest every time. That
there
like
is
cracks me up.
She has
There is
to cut herself right every
Oh, yeah, she has to cut herself every single time, and then like her heart opens and it comes
time.
out.
Yeah, it comes out of her void.
Yeah.
The void in her heart.
The biggest problem with Nico though is that like you have to constantly come up with a new way to say the spell that you want.
Yeah, that's super annoying too.
Yeah.
I think it's cool because it forces you to be creative with your words.
I bet
She doesn't
They're
even
gonna-
get like long rest rules either, where she gets to like refresh her slots or anything.
She gets to sleep. Well, nobody sleeps 8 hours anymore, so I think that.
Oh, that's true. Maybe when she gets a bit older,
Yeah, when she when she can
she'll
sleep
just
for
like
8
notice she sleeps like a whole 8 hours, and then she can like say spells however she wants.
She could say the spell. It'll be the Staff of Two. It'll.
yeah,
Ah!
I agree with Sir John.
I think it's not canon yet, right? Because they just
no,
said that
no.
Netflix shows are canon or whatever.
No, it's the opposite, Lindsay. They
Oh.
are canon until they say they're not canon. Because
the
they are
anti-Star
developed.
Wars rule.
They are developed under Marvel Studios, and so technically they're still canon. until they say they're not. What?
Sir John's.
I hope Thanos destroyed the New Mutants universe.
I love that movie.
I love that movie too, but I hope he
it's-
destroyed
it's-
it so we can get Anya Taylor-Joy back as something else.
Yeah, she was great. She was definitely a
She was
jewel.
really good in that movie. I
Her,
thought.
her and Maisie Williams. I thought Maisie Williams was awesome.
Yeah,
Bring 'em
Maisie
back.
Williams was really good too.
Oh, and Danny.
Yeah.
Anya would be a good. She'd
They
make a
all
good.
good.
All the ladies,
Black Cat.
especially, were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that game. That was pretty fun, Frank, and it did get us to think about Runaways. And don't get me wrong, do I like the show? No, I don't really. I would prefer that it's not in the MCU, but I will take the
That
same
show bummed me
argument.
out, like honestly.
I will take the same argument that I successfully won with Ricky all those years ago about whether or not Boba Fett is a Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, check your sources. Like,
Yep, it's tough to
Check your
adapt to
sources.
some of the new revelations and the new rules that they come out
I
with.
was
The new
going
what's
off
canon, what's
the
not
Boba
canon.
Fett
Yeah,
fan
it's
page.
kinda
the
weird.
fan page, and after you got done telling me,
Okay, like the fan page has more stock than a fucking Wikipedia page. Like,
I mean, those are the guys writing the Wikipedia page, just so you know. Like,
Ricky was
so
reading
does it
Boba Fett
really?
fanfic, and he's all like, "Yeah, it was like
Christmas.
cool.
This is like when the relatives start fighting at Christmas, and you're just
Literally
like,
the same
"Mm,
people writing the Wiki page.
Boba Fett had 2 lightsabers."
yeah,
Please stop talking politics and Boba Fett.
Yeah. Man, that's a great Christmas, though. Man, I wish my family would talk Boba Fett sometimes and just argue about it. That'd be great. That's better than politics.
Well, I mean, you can
agree.
just do that at home, though. Like you.
Yeah,
and your
just
wife
argue
can
politics.
Argue,
Just be like, let's
argue politics and Boba Fett. Just go back and forth in
Yeah,
between
just-
Animal Crossing.
Just go between one. I don't think a Biden supporter would think Boba Fett's a Mandalorian.
if
my
we're
God.
Just go
if
with
we're,
that.
if we're sidestepping here, I'm in the market to buy a multi-tool, and I found a multi-tool forum on the internet, and it's hilarious because it goes literally from like, oh, what's your opinion on this tool versus this one, into politics in like 3 posts. All of them, do. All the pages go there, and it's hilarious.
Do they have a Marvel branded multi-tool?
I think there is actually one, but that's
That's
more
funny.
of a hobbyist tool, not a
Merry Christmas.
not a professional tool.
Oh, not a serious multi-tool.
yeah.
Man, you know what's a really special wiki that loves Runaways? The Marvel Cinematic Universe wiki.
No way. Is it? Are they on there? That's funny.
It's on there. It's on there officially. So,
That's hilarious.
yeah. It's there until it's not. So for now, it still is.
Yeah.
But since we were dancing around the subject, I think why don't we actually go and talk about the thing that we were discussing, which is Hawkeye
Woohoo.
Spider-Man.
season
I'm just
finale. We could-
that
See,
was
Rick-
quick.
I was gonna say Ricky
So
has more
Christmas
power.
Eve.
Wait, what happened there? I lost the audio on that. Did,
I
heard it.
Yeah.
It sounded good.
and
It
it
sounded
played the whole
great.
thing?
Yeah, it was
It
like
played the
best-
whole thing.
It
There
was
was
the best
like
audio ever.
Okay, you know what it must
cool
be? It must
snow
be
stuff.
Lindsay's cool background that's screwing up my my internets. You're throwing off my internets.
all
Oh,
right.
actually everything
Yeah,
is a little,
all right.
That was
everything is a little
uh,
choppy for me at the moment.
Kingpin
Without
versus-
even getting into the show, I am happy with the 6-episode thing. We got 2 on the first night. Here we are a little over a month later, done with the show. And we can be done with the show. Like, I don't necessarily need a Hawkeye 2,
Wow, you know what I call this? I call this growth, because this year started with Ricky drooling over how many minutes of runtime and how many episodes each Marvel Cinematic Universe show was going to have on Disney Plus. And here he is now saying, I'm good with 6 episodes.
I'm
fine
good with
it."
6. It told the story it needed told. It didn't feel overtly bloated. And, we're on to the next one.
I agree with you,
Mm.
Ricky. I think it was like a nice little container. Like they picked a
Mhm.
story that was easy to tell, like within the period of time. And yeah, because when I was like filling out your form thing, Dennis, and it was like, oh, predictions for the next story. I'm like, I don't even know if I need or want a next story.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be great to not get a next story for once in Marvel's life. Like it'd be cool to just have the
But
story
there-
end.
their next
Well, I mean,
story
it-
can be part of something else.
but-
So
Yeah.
Sure.
Because now I guess Kate like lives with them. That's kind of. I mean, spoilers.
So before we continue this random conversation that we just started having, thank you, Ricky. Even though I usually,
Oh yeah, Ricky
I-
did that.
I usually,
Thanks,
I
Ricky.
usually,
Chaos.
Back to
I
my old
usually
ways.
Christmas.
I usually like to have just a brief moment to say.
I was just
It's
saying.
I just
how I
realized,
the
like,
show.
wait a second, I'm saying a spoiler right now.
I'm gonna sit here and wait until everybody stops. Is everybody
Uh,
done? Is everybody done?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's time
Yes.
it's time to put a spotlight on episode 6 of Hawkeye. Spoiler warnings for anybody who hasn't seen the episode from this week. We're going to be talking and spoiling it, much like we just did a moment ago.
You're
So
welcome.
yeah, we're going to be talking about that for the rest of the rest of the afternoon. Yeah, and the episode was titled "So This Is Christmas," and I wrote up a nice little recap for anybody who needs it. After Eleanor and Maya both turn their backs on the Kingpin, he sends Kazi and the tracksuits to make an example of them. But Kate, Clint, and the LARPers have a plan to clean up this mess. Too bad Yelena's quest to avenge her sister's death gets in the way. That's the summary I gave.
Okay.
That still leaves room for us to spoil more if we want to. And now proceed. You guys can continue this conversation of spoiling everything.
Out of all
Now
the
we don't want to.
content we got in this year, it came to a total of 2,150 minutes. It's a lot of MCU.
That
It
is.
is a lot of
They gave us a lot. They gave us a lot.
And so after removing the credits, you end up with about 1,500 minutes. So that's pretty good.
Why do you hate the credits?
Dude, they're like 7 minutes.
so
every
long.
time.
A lot of people
so
worked
long.
on them.
I'm just saying it's a lot. It's a lot.
So, what did
I-
people like about the episode?
Check out
Anything?
Sir John's latest. That's great.
Yeah, we can just go straight to his really quick. Kingpin. Oh wait, I was Kingpin dirty in his eye. I think he got dirt thrown in his eye. And then he said a 6 out of 10 without Kingpin.
Yep.
8 to 10. Without Kingpin, it's an 8 to 10.
Yep.
Without the LARPers, 9 to 10. Without the watch, 10 to 10. I'm here for Jack. His superpower is being French. That's a pretty damn good assessment.
You didn't like Kingpin, Dennis? I thought you loved
No,
Kingpin.
it's not that I don't. I love Kingpin. I love Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. Do I think that Kingpin, in his triumphant return to his
inaugural return to the
re-entry into the MCU,
Mhm.
Was that worthy of him? No, that was embarrassing. What happened to
But
him
you
was embarrassing.
did get to see him in like a
Yeah,
Hawaiian
you see
shirt.
him back.
So,
that was cool.
He gets a power buff.
The Hawaiian shirt's cool.
His
Hawaiian
comic
shirt.
accurate.
And, you know, it's a pretty
is-
comic booky thing
That's
to do,
that's
right?
that's comic accurate right there. Just so you know,
You know, you
That
reveal
shirt-
him to be the big bad, and then you
that shirt is
do the thing.
legit.
I think it goes to my one negative about this episode. I liked the episode largely. No, I have 2 negatives. No, maybe 3. Let's call it 4. Let's call it 4. But one of them is that I don't think MCU understands how to make a scary villain. Like, to them, scary is like being arrow proof and like ripping doors off and being a monster, instead of, you know, being the psychological monster of like killing a family or over a business move, or like smashing a head in if you get slightly embarrassed. Like, they don't understand like the nuance of making a monster. They see monsters as just smashing things and being arrow proof.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't know that it's that they don't know how to make a scary villain, because like I definitely feel like I saw some scary villains in Spider-Man No Way Home. I know it's possible. I know they do it, but I feel like their problem is sometimes they let fan service get in the way of good storytelling.
Sure.
And
Well,
by
let me ask
sometimes
you-
I mean more often than not.
Let
In
me
this
ask you this about
situation,
No
though-
Way Home, though. Were those scary villains that the MCU created, or were they villains that were already established in other?
I would say the version of Electro we got is attributed to the
That's
MCU.
right, you said that. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The reason he's scary is because of what the MCU did for him.
I will agree.
On to Dennis's point, though, there is set photos from this episode where a lot of the characters are depicted very differently from what was shown in the episode. So it almost seems like as whenever that Echo show was greenlit, they changed part of this episode to aid more to that story.
Do you have the set?
Yeah,
photos?
what are you talking about? Set photos?
Do you
Like
have them?
I don't have them on me. Like specifically, like Maya's outfit is more comic book accurate in those photos. As opposed
The hair down,
hair down, the hand
with the visible
circle.
She had her hair
leg.
down at the end of that episode, though, right? So they're kind of showing her transformation.
Mhm.
I don't think that's what I'm talking about though. So I'm saying all year long with every single show, I've said that the Law and Order rule is generally how I apply
your predictions.
My predictions or more like a fulfilling experience for an audience for how to reveal a villain, right? So like and with the I just jokingly call it that because I've seen other TV shows do it too, but like the Law and Order rule basically is the villain of the story has to appear in the first act of the story that is being told. So if you didn't get that character, if you didn't meet that character already, then you kind of rob the audience of the experience of understanding the villain and their motivations when they show up at the end.
But
right?
Does
kind
that
of
apply if like Kingpin is introduced in a different character?
Exactly. But I think it does, right? Because especially if they're considering it a soft reboot. So if we take this back to WandaVision, right? WandaVision, we kept wanting Mephisto to show up, right? And then at a certain point, I really wanted Ultron to show up.
I don't remember ever saying Mephisto.
Isn't it called like Chekhov's gun or something?
Well, no, it's kind of it's kind of like Chekhov's gun. I was going to say that. Yeah, it's the same.
Chekhov's gun would be like the runes in WandaVision.
Mm-hmm. But as I was saying, in WandaVision, when we were making these predictions, when it finally came down to being Agatha, as dumb as that was, at least it followed the rule, right? It followed the rule of, okay, casual audiences and fans alike both had an opportunity to guess who the bad guy is in the story. Was it a very satisfying story? No, probably because they sang a song to us like they treated us like idiots and said it was Agatha all along. But that doesn't change the fact that like when you do a story like Loki, and then out of the blue, He Who Remains shows up, whether or not it's comic accurate, we didn't have the opportunity to be invested in that character. And so what it ended up being is like 15 minutes of exposition, right? We had to be explained why we need to care about this character in the very last episode of the show.
But
and
when
I feel like Marvel likes to introduce things across multiple properties now. So they're trying to I agree with you actually that it is hard to be invested in a character that way, but I think that's what they're trying to do. Is
so what I'm hearing is that Falcon and the Winter Soldier had the best storytelling.
It's not entirely wrong. I don't think
it's not wrong. I really did like it. I like that one a lot. I think What If had the best storytelling, honestly.
Super concise and super tight every episode.
Yeah.
Like no matter if you like the episode or not, like the storytelling was really tight.
Yeah.
But even that's
in my opinion.
I mean, not to get into predictions for what's next, but if the character in the Doctor Strange trailer is that strange,
which is why I don't necessarily believe it is. I want to believe it is. I want to
get better or worse.
I want to get on board. Well, okay, so there is a way to do it and still make it work, right? Like if you introduce Kingpin in this show and let us get to know who Kingpin is, so that we don't have to have watched Daredevil, then it works, right? Yep. So you can introduce that character in Doctor Strange and he can be the same one that was in What If, but we can also know everything we need to know about him without watching What If.
But this is the flip side of having a 6-episode show, though. You don't have that time.
No. You don't get to say that. You don't get to say you don't. You don't get to say you don't have that time when we spent time in every episode doing a flashback of people We got way too much LARPer time.
I was gonna
and
say,
that never paid off ever.
Well,
So don't
why
sit here and tell
retread
me we didn't have
that
time.
when you have literally 3 series of a show?
All you had to do was have the Kingpin just sitting in the auction, and then he'd be like, "Oh, gotta go later. I'm the Kingpin."
Yeah, exactly.
And then people show how they're scared of him, and that's all you needed. You just needed that one.
Yeah,
little scene.
you're creating this idea in your head that like Law and Order shows you every single reason the person's bad in the first 5 minutes of the show. No, you just have to meet them at the beginning of the story. And so if the beginning of the story is season 1 of Daredevil, that's weird. That's weird. It's weird. Especially because the Kingpin we met in Daredevil was way cooler than the one we met in this episode of Hawkeye.
Well, way scarier.
And scarier. Yeah. Like, other than the fact that he can, survive anything in this episode, like.
Yeah.
So you basically just think Kingpin was like a bad or a mismatch for the story, is what you're saying, right? Because like the overall tone of the show was definitely a lot more lighthearted, even though the story was serious. Like there was a lot of like silliness and like character moments.
Yeah.
People connecting. It was kind of more like a Christmas party in a way. People, like wander in and out and like talk about random junk with each other.
Yeah.
So the objection is more Kingpin is too serious to be attending that Christmas party, right? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like we were set up to believe that it was going to be a face-off between Kate and her mom, and that ultimately culminated in Kate calling the cops on her mom. That is. And then I like how she asked her, "Is this what superheroes do? Have their moms arrested on Christmas?" I'm like, yeah,
that's
Kate,
such a mom guilt trip. That was such a mom guilt trip. Trying to like turn it on her, so it's.
But like,
before we go on, check out Sir John's penultimate comment right now.
The one before this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kingpin's money is the greatest villain in Marvel. Into the Spider-Verse, Kingpin's money
killed Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, those are the kinds of things I agree with. I think that's scary. A lot scarier. Someone with a lot of money that's trying to come get me is a lot scarier than someone that can clap my head.
Yeah. And I think the biggest problem with this Kingpin is I didn't feel like he had a lot of money or a lot of reach, because his main people that he was using were tracksuits, dude.
Like, what the hell?
They were tracksuit mafia. Like, he's gone. He's stepped down way into the gutter.
To be fair, there were like 50,000 of them in this one episode.
Yeah, maybe he just wasn't. I don't think that's the whole picture of him, though, and I'm not sure that he was taking this threat that seriously. Like, to be honest, because it is his adoptive daughter. So I think I do really feel like it's kind of related to that like family relationship that they have.
Yeah. Maybe he underestimated Echo and
like
Kate.
He thought Echo would like never turn on him, or like didn't really understand like the seriousness of what he did to her father.
But that goes back to what we were saying about the show not really showing how scary Kingpin is. Like the show should have shown his resources and shown his.
But is it the Kingpin show or is it the Hawkeye show?
Yeah.
But I totally feel you on like not wanting to insert the super scary villain in the show for no reason.
But it's what Dennis says about the bad guy reflecting on the good guy. The bad guy should show. So if it's gonna be if Kingpin's gonna be the big bad, he needs to have a bigger like
presence.
Stake in bigger presence, bigger stake, bigger.
Let me counter with this.
Hold on, Ricky. I have one question though. One question. See, here's the question I want to back this up with. What Frank's saying is, as a reminder, this is the character that Hawkeye was afraid of getting mixed up with through the entire season, and what we were shown was a laughable thing. Like, he was supposed to be a threat that Hawkeye was so scared of that he was taking his time hanging out with LARPers and like doing all this stuff to like avoid entanglement with Kingpin.
But we don't know that the thing he was afraid of was the single encounter, or more Kingpin's connections and his ability to like hunt him down over time and hurt his family.
And
it was the sense that I got.
But you know about those because of.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
I think they were kind of painting in the corner because, like, if you're going to bring Maya into the story, in order to do it right, you have to have a Kingpin, right? I'm asking you guys. Yeah, like, right?
I didn't really feel like even Kingpin was necessarily the big bad, or even that there was one. I mean, there were conflicts between the characters, but like the main point of the show to me was just the passing of the torch to Kate. And
Kate,
so
no.
the villain was just the catalyst for that happening.
Like,
Well, I
if
think
you
there
didn't
was
have
never.
Maya,
bringing in Yelena and all
Yeah.
of those extra characters and just bringing them all together and doing Christmassy stuff.
There were
I-
three
I would-
conflicts,
if
but
you-
there doesn't seem to be a real big
yeah.
bad. Like,
well, like
the-
if you
the-
didn't have the Maya stuff, could you have slotted the Kingpin big bad reveal for like a tombstone, and it worked just the same?
No, I mean, like, I
No.
think the point of her is to show, or the point of that whole thing is to show his relationship with Maya so that it can be supported in her spin-off show.
But he's
And-
saying
and
if
with-
Maya wasn't in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
it wouldn't make sense to have Kingpin, no. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, yes, if you remove like one of the main characters of the show, then you might have to recalibrate other parts of the
But
show.
well, you could still have Kingpin. It just wouldn't have that personal connection
Yeah,
with one of the characters.
Yeah.
But just to be
So
clear,
it wouldn't
like,
carry the same weight.
this whole
Fat joke,
Kingpin
Kingpin.
That'd be really
rant though. It was just because of what Sir John was saying, was that the show would have been better without, like it didn't.
Mhm.
I didn't like that moment in the toy store with Kate and Kingpin was not the thing I was most looking forward to. In fact, I never even anticipated it coming. And so to see it play out, I was like, well, this does nothing for me. But other moments in the show really did. Like, so I am agreeing with you, Lindsay. The passing of the torch was the bigger focus of the episode and or of the show, and also Hawkeye dealing with his pain and grief with Nat, and also helping Yelena with that too. Those were all themes that totally worked, and I thought were amazing. The Kingpin thing just kind of derailed the episode for me, the way He Who Remains derailed Loki for me. Do you know what
Fair
I mean?
enough. Yep.
Like,
Get used to
all
it,
I'm
baby.
saying.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like I could say without spoiling, there is a similar type of cameo in Spider-Man that does not steal the show and just serves to be here. This is a quick little reminder that this character exists, and it's fun, and you get to cheer, and you don't have to worry about the character being poorly represented because it's not the focus. It's not the focus of the moment of the movie. And so I thought that was a bigger win than what we got in Hawkeye with Kingpin. But yeah.
I just want to watch Yelena eat mac and cheese all day. Like, honestly.
Agreed. 100%.
Or like hang out with that random little owl in like the Rockefeller tree.
If you want,
Yes,
that was
Dude,
actually
awesome.
her little
That
moment
owl
with.
was the big bad of the series.
I
that'd
love
be
her
awesome.
and Kate, her scenes together, but like when Sans, after the elevator scene when they were chasing through the building, I was like, damn, Elena, like, stop playing with your food, like, murder Kate. You know?
Yeah,
want-
Dennis
she
and I
doesn't
were
want
talking
to.
about
She
that.
doesn't
Yeah,
want
we're
to.
like,
I know she doesn't want
I
to,
think,
but like,
I think, yeah, I
she's
think
a
having some
professional.
But she's
concerns.
not a professional killer anymore. She's not. This is nothing about this
You
job
never
is
lose those
professional
skills.
to her. No, I'm saying this is a personal mission she's doing.
Well, it's
She's-
both. It's both though, because she got
Well, I mean,
she got the
it's a
mission
benefit
from
she gets
Valentine.
paid for. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a benefit she's going to get paid for it. But
You do
like,
what you love. You never work a day. You know,
exactly.
I want to go back to Lindsay's owl. Like, if I'd seen that owl out of context, I would have been like, "Oh man, it's Leland Owlsley. He's the big bad. He's the big bad of the show."
Fun fact:
So I'm super glad.
the show was shot in New York City in December of 2020, all the way through April 2021. The tree brought to Rockefeller Center for Christmas 2020 famously did bring with it a tiny adult male saw-whet owl nicknamed Rocky, who
I
traveled
remember that owl actually.
170 miles with
That's
the
cool.
75-foot Norway spruce from Oneotna in upstate New York. Rocky was rescued from the tree and sent to Ravensbeard Wildlife Center. So I think that was a big nod to the actual thing that they found the super rare owl in that Christmas tree. The show should be taking place in 2024 though, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
It's-
Well, I
because-
mean, they could
because
still
of the
reference
snap.
it.
it's
Also,
a wink.
Rocky,
It's a wink and a nod. It's a wink and a nod. Yeah.
Rocky is a murderer, as is Hawkeye and Kate.
They are definitely
dude.
accomplices
They
in
were
that murder.
murdering
Hawkeye and Kate
so
were
much.
murdering
They
so
were
many
murdering
people.
so much on Christmas. Oh my goodness.
They murdered a lot. And I'm okay with it.
There's a
don't
lot of
mind.
These are
Arrows
trashy
can do.
mafia people with like girlfriends and like sending
Look.
thank you cards to Kate and stuff. They're just killing them.
I don't need all of my
froze somebody's
superheroes.
leg off.
Oh yeah, he did.
I know.
He
that
froze
that
some-
leg's
he-
coming
he-
off. He's
he
going to the
Sub-Zero'd
doctor.
that leg
Somebody's
for sure.
leg.
Yeah.
He's got
No.
11 minutes according to Batman and
those
Robin
dudes
logic.
are just shrunk forever. They're gonna die.
No,
Oh, they're dead.
No,
They're
they
dead.
are.
got
They're
eaten by
eaten.
owls.
They're eaten.
They are going to be discovered in owl feces somewhere as the smallest human remains ever. It's pretty gross. Like, yeah.
How expensive was that arrow too? Because it had like
I
a
know,
ton of
right?
like PIM particles in it.
It's got to be pretty expensive.
Right?
Well, he got it from Scott, so maybe
$1
Scott just
million
I'm
swiped
just
it.
saying, like,
Yeah,
Hank
Scott just
Pym.
steals them.
Well, regardless, it's still super duper
Oh, no,
expensive.
it's still
Did you
expensive.
still like
Yeah,
sue the
no
shit
doubt.
out of Hank Pym for those? Right?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Have
I
you
don't
been
know.
damaged by a Pym particle?
If you shoot someone with
I
a
see.
gun, can you? Yeah, maybe they can do a class action lawsuit or something. Have,
Yeah.
Pym tech?
have a
If you
lawyer
can
or
sue
something.
the bullet makers for the death of somebody, I don't know.
Have you been frozen by PIM particles? Have you been frozen by ice arrows? Have you been shrunken by PIM particles? Call me Lonnie Jacobs, or I don't know something.
I
Yeah,
did.
Hank-
I
That was
did
just
like.
funny.
I did like
I
the
did
variety.
Like it overall, but
Yeah, I did like the variety of trick arrows. Lindsay, we were having a conversation earlier today about like how there were so many different ones that was like unnecessary. You were saying like honestly, if you know there's going to be a crowd control situation, you just make like 15 of those crowd control arrows, right? The same one. But then you related it back to like what D&D rules, or I mean D&D actual play, right? You remember what you were saying?
yeah, no, I was just saying, like, why not just use a bunch of low damage crowd control arrows and not freeze a human being's leg off? But then I remember when I play D&D, I like know what my best power is, but I get really super bored sometimes doing the exact same thing over and over again. So then I'll
Yeah,
just
you want
throw
variety with your murder.
something else
Yeah,
in there.
exactly.
But also, like, Clint is shooting arrows like all the time. He doesn't have to wait like 15 minutes in between doing stuff. So I understood the boredom less in his case. But who knows?
Yeah. By the way, I just saw this one from Sir John. Sir John, I don't think that's a fair question. I think when will the Thanos PTSD be over? With half the
College
people
entrance.
less drive. Yeah. I just feel like you're underestimating what that would truly do to the world. I kind of feel the opposite. I feel the MCU has danced around that subject too much, and they haven't really shown us. Like, if you've ever watched the show The Leftovers on HBO, that's only 2% of the world disappears.
Oh yeah, people are nuts.
And the world was just forever ruined, just forever. It's a very depressing show about all of the world just not knowing how to recover from that. So, like, if that's that show, the MCU has a whole lot of laughter considering 50% of everyone in the world just disappeared and then came back 5 years later. That is the most traumatic thing that would ever happen in human existence, period. I don't mind every time that they get a little upset or hurt or traumatized by something like that. It's I want darker stories to come from that. Like it's
or like Why the Last Man, when like half of the population dies and it becomes
Yeah.
an apocalypse. Like,
and then it
that's
just
a
gets
lot more
canceled.
likely.
And then it just gets canceled. I know, right?
It
Like,
just
Yeah.
gets ended. I'd
Yeah,
never
the whole
watched that
show
because I was gonna watch it. Dennis had me all stoked on it, and then it got canceled. So I'm all like, I'm not gonna bother now.
Yeah.
would
all right.
I get if I had the
Yeah.
choice? Would I get snapped or live the 5 years?
Mm.
Ooh,
Did
that's
I would
you
get
guys
snapped.
talk
Just
about-
end it. Let's just go away.
Did you guys talk about the Yelena experiencing the snap thing last show?
yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
that was
I
a
couldn't
cool,
remember.
cool effect.
We did.
I
It was
love that.
super crazy.
Yeah.
I'd be snapped.
That's
So,
good.
let me-
Be
let me-
snapped. Ricky be
I
snapped.
got,
Let
I
me
got good
ask-
credit. I'll be fine when I come back.
Let me ask this question, just to get things a little bit more on track.
I'd be pissed when I came back from the snap, though. I'd be like, God, ugh. Just
I
let
mean-
me go. Let me die.
I mean,
My
but
God.
like, you could finally marry people that were just a little too young before.
Fair. I'm like, where are you, Maisie Williams? Get over here.
this is
Get
going
over
here.
here.
I'm kidding. Am
Oh,
I?
yeah, me too. Yeah, I was
Am I?
totally
Um,
kidding.
who or what sold you the most on this episode? Because I know we talked about the things that we didn't like a lot, or we couldn't help but talk about things we didn't like. But who were your favorites? I know, Lindsay, you were saying you could watch Elena eat mac and cheese all day, but what else was your favorite stuff about this episode?
I already mentioned most of it. Like, I like the owl.
Oh yeah,
I always
Leland
like anything with Yelena in it. I'm always gonna love. I just think Florence Pugh is an amazing actress, and especially when like Kate and Florence are together for any reason, their acting is incredible. So I love watching them.
Great charisma.
Yeah, great charisma. So I also thought the mom guilt trip was pretty hilarious, but we already talked about that as well. So.
By the way, Selena is saying, Frank, that's a red flag. You
she's saying that about what you were saying.
About you. It was about you. I was trying to fish you out, and it worked, and I've exposed you.
Great. Now, you wouldn't expose me on Christmas Eve. You wouldn't expose your coworker on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Is that something a coworker would do on Christmas?
Yeah. Is that something a coworker would do?
Is it co-working if we're not getting paid?
Oh, is that something a volunteer would do on Christmas?
Coworker.
Yeah, with ex-coworker.
Ricky,
volunteer.
what were your favorites of this episode?
I like Kate. I really like the passing of the torch. She got to work with Hawkeye together on a case. Like, they got to have the big final battle, but I'm glad they brought the personal stakes in last episode, so you can see it kind of play out a little bit here. So at the end, when she goes, when she's there by Christmas, like, she's earned the respect of Hawkeye. The wife's excited to meet her because they got her watch or whatever. Like, I really like where they put Kate at the end of this episode.
Yeah, I think she was set up to be the winner of the whole show.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna assume she doesn't have any more money at this point now. Like,
yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, does she just have access to her accounts now, or no? I mean, I'm assuming she's just gonna live with Clint for a while. That was my assumption, but who
she
knows?
Might not be rich. She might have something. Maybe they have a trust fund set up for her or something. I don't know if that would that be frozen if her mom.
Because I mean, her mom like made it so she couldn't access any of her accounts in like episode 2 or 3 or something like that.
Her.
So maybe
Jack. Jack's a stand-up guy, so maybe he would look out for Kate. I think he's a pretty amazing character to come out of that show. I think she would get like him access eventually.
Yeah, I didn't predict that he would be as good as he was.
Yeah, he was quite entertaining. Frank, were there other highlights for you?
Definitely Yelena and Clint's their fight, but also their growth as characters. Like him helping her through her grief. I was full on expecting to see her show up at the farm at the end of the episode. Also, like be like, "Hey, this is another."
No, you can't bring 2 women to your wife on Christmas. So
yeah. She's all like, "You have a 1-woman limit that you can bring. Yeah, you pick one. You pick the one you like the best."
It gets a little sketchy.
Bring the one that was too young before the snap.
Yeah, but now is just right.
Oh no,
we don't know if Kate was snapped, right?
She was not. I think.
We don't know actually, but I'm gonna assume she wasn't.
I don't know. They went back on Wong. They said that he wasn't snapped in Spider-Man. Not mild spoiler for Spider-Man, but they said he wasn't snapped because he got the Sorcerer Supreme. But they showed in one of the, I want to say it was like Endgame or something, where he was one of the missing people. So
maybe he was too busy.
Yeah, he was too busy to check in and be like check in with his family.
He's not an Avenger at that point in the story, right?
Yeah, they didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
right? That's true.
Yeah, it's fair. But okay, other question I wanted to ask, because I think this is more for Frank, because I know you have read the Hawkeye comic book that this was based off of. What did the story better or worse or different? Which was better, the comic or the show?
I think in terms of bad guys and cohesion, I think the comic does it better. But in terms of characterization and kind of like a fun take on it, I think the MCU does it better. So I think overall entertainment, I preferred the show. But I think for a better story and better characterization, I prefer the comic. That comes with an asterisk because Kate's already established in the comic. So it's not so much an origin story as it is she's a character that shows up in the story.
Yeah.
So that's my hot take on it. And the Tracksuit Draculas have their own kind of thing that they do in the comic. They have like a super assassin that kind of seduces Kate a little bit, and it adds a little bit of interest to it and makes the stakes personal. But they don't really involve like her mom or anything like that. That's kind of a story that's been told before the comic even took place.
Sir John, I'm already on thin ice with that whole like snap quote, so I'm not going to read the phonetic accent that you put into that speech. But yes, Jack is hilarious and very, very relatable.
I like he likes MILFs. That's so good.
I'm supposed to read it, Frank.
Oh, you don't have to apologize.
Dennis was just making a joke.
He likes MILFs.
Yeah.
He's not scolding you. He's just joking.
No, I'm down with that.
Yeah. I just think I would read that badly if I tried to. So
yeah, I'm not going to read the accent part, but I like that Jack likes MILFs. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. It's great.
It's a home for
awesome.
Wayward MILFs.
Yeah.
It's Jack's house.
Do you guys want to talk about predictions for like maybe like what happens in the world of Hawkeye or outside of the world of Hawkeye in the rest of the MCU?
Hawkeye can die now.
Before we do predictions, I thought someone else was going to mention like Alakwa, but like she was killer in this episode. That fight scene with John Noe.
Yeah. Nobody ever asked me my favorite thing, so I didn't.
Oh, Dennis, what's your favorite thing?
You're supposed to just jump in, dude.
Yeah, my favorite things were Yelena, Maya, Jack, and Kate. Absolutely, I thought all four of them made the whole show fun for me, and they made this episode fun for me more than the
Kazi,
stuff that bummed me out. Yeah, I didn't really love Kazi.
John Noe.
And then one of the specific things that really was touching to me was when Clint looked at Kate and said, "Let's give him hell." Mm-hmm. There is precedent for that. He has said that to one other person ever. It's in
Mephisto.
No, he said it to Nat in Age of Ultron. Right before she came out of the Quinjet in her motorcycle.
I mean, how cool though was really his arrow he shot at Kazi? He shot the wooden arrow. Then
he talked about that in episode 4, remember?
But seeing it happen and he's like, "Nice shot." No shit. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
I was a little thrown off by the fact that Kazi just caught that. I'm like, does Kazi have superpower? Nope, never mind. He doesn't. Never mind. He's dead.
He looks like a werewolf. Good. I was hoping he would turn into like werewolf.
You were hoping he was a werewolf.
Because he looks like a straight up werewolf. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. He just looks like a lichen.
I just thought that was really cute that he's found a way to love Kate the way he loved Natasha, and so he cares for her that much, and that's all I wanted from the show, right? Is for him to actually take this person under his wing, and now the next time we see Kate, we can know, without having seen it on screen. Now Kate got trained by the greatest archer ever.
She helped him, realize.
Yeah, of course.
I don't say that he's a hero. I think that's oversimplifying it, but she got to tell him what she really means to him when she's describing the Avengers Day for her and how she saw him. And the fact that he was listening in that moment and not kind of blowing her off, that was a nice little touching moment between the two.
Yeah, it was cool. Sir John had a question for us. Isn't Echo supposed to be Hawkeye too? No, technically, that I think you mean to say Echo was a different person who wore the Ronin suit. Echo is not another Hawkeye, but Hawkeye and Echo in the comics have both been Ronin. Aren't they appearing in that also from now on? Aren't all the movies team ups? I heard Blade is heavy on the Black Knight content. I don't know. I don't know the details of all the movies. I know Ricky has read the synopsis.
Maybe.
Oh Ricky read the script.
No, maybe. Yeah.
I know. Tried to trick us into reading the script.
Does the Echo spinoff have Clint in it?
I don't know about that. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I think the larger larger connective tissue for Echo is that it's going to probably bring back Wilson Fisk, who's going to have like a wound on his face because he's not dead. That's like if anybody ever has seen a movie where somebody gets shot off screen, you know that does not mean death, especially when it's an important character. But I think the bigger person that will probably be making an appearance in Echo is Daredevil, aka Charlie Cox. I think that's I don't think he'll be the only person. I mean, these shows like to bring in a lot of characters and fill them up, you know. I thought it was really funny is when I was rewatching my old episodes of this show, trying to gather up like some footage. There was one of the first things we saw was a trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I was talking about how excited I was to see Echo in that. And wow, that was so far off the mark there.
Who do you think was Echo in that show?
What's her name? The girl with the face, the hand on her face. The girl with the hand on her face.
Yeah.
Oh, Carly Morgenthau?
Yeah.
It
Flag
just,
Smasher.
you know, flag smasher. Yeah. But we still got Echo in the same year, so whatever. It's fine. Yeah.
I mean,
Soldier. Wow.
I could see a Kate slotting into Ant-Man 3 since they're bringing in
to like develop a relationship or familiarity with stature.
Cassie.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's like the best fit.
Doesn't Kate kind of in the comics put together the Young Avengers?
Yeah, she does like the V2, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because she fills in the void after Iron Lad is off the team.
Yeah. She's definitely
I think she's romantically involved with Eli, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
Is that true?
I don't remember.
Am I misremembering?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna have to reread.
Yeah. I've only read the first volume, and then I read their crossover with Runaways, and then whatever they did in Civil War. That's pretty much all I read from Young Avengers.
But I wasn't joking earlier. Like, I'm pretty sure Clint will die in the next, or be written off. Like, I think he's done.
I think he can be retired. I think you can retire him and then not have to
still
kill
pepper him.
You don't have to kill. You don't have to kill everything. So I think that's an
Ricky
instinct
wants them all dead.
I think that's an instinct that we need to get away from, because the less characters that die, the more opportunity we have to bring them back. Even though Ricky is ageist and thinks that windows are gone after 5 years.
Ricky
they
might
want to bring him back for Echo a little bit more too, just because I've been wondering how they're going to handle like the deaf culture and communication thing in Echo. Just because ASL is her first language, obviously, and lip reading is so difficult. Like, and it seems like Clint is learning sign language, so I'm wondering if they might bring him back for that and kind of ease that communication. Because in the comics, Echo communicates more easily with hearing folks, right, than she does in the show.
Selena's asking a question. You say, will his wife take over? I think you're talking about Clint's wife, and I think we forgot to actually address that one. So for anybody not in the know, so the big reveal for that Rolex was the back of the Rolex was a shield and with a number 19. And it was her watch, right? So that's implying that she is Agent 19. And in the comic books, Agent 19 is a character known as Bobby Morse, aka Mockingbird, who does marry Clint. So I think they're implying that Laura was Mockingbird at a certain point. Now that I think was what Ricky was talking about earlier when he was saying that this show kind of officially made all the other shows not canon. I think it just created an awkward inconsistency with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I saw you had a screenshot earlier, Ricky. You had a screenshot you were pulling up earlier.
Well, I have seen that the Darkhold has the ability to manifest itself differently. So it's hard to say on that one whether or not it's actually the same.
So to answer your question, Lindsay, oh my God, I just noticed the comment section.
No, that it never happened.
It never happened, Dennis. You blipped it away. Wow, it never
Or we
happened as
can
he puts it
show
on
it.
screen.
You guys.
Um,
I was playing it cool. I'm just saying.
to answer your question, your initial question, she communicates usually via third party, usually through Stark when he's around. She could lip read through masks also if it's like a thin enough mask like Spider-Man. But like
Okay. So she has like kind of like Daredevil, like
yeah,
enhanced senses.
she can't communicate in the dark, for sure though. Like I've seen her not be able to kind of be isolated kind of in dark situations. But as long as the mask is thin enough, she can still read lips.
Wait, so did I finish?
I appreciated the way that they like portrayed lip reading in this show though, because I think a lot of people assume lip reading means folks can understand everything you're saying when that's not the case, to my understanding.
I just wanted to double back really quick and make sure we did answer Selena's question because I don't think we did fully. I think what they're implying is that Laura, his wife, is retired from S.H.I.E.L.D. And done with the superhero ways, and this Rolex was a loose end that she didn't want out there in the world. But I don't think that it's something she wants to come back and do. And I also don't think that the MCU has treated Linda Cardellini's character with a lot of reverence or anything. She's mostly used as a prop through the whole story.
Well,
so it would be weird to bring her back into the fold, but sure, I'm not opposed to it.
To the Christmas scene's credit, though, in Age of Ultron, they make it a very big point that is like highly a top secret place. You know, no one except for Fury and now the Avengers know about his house or his family. So to have him bring Kate there, I think that's a bigger moment than what was shown on screen, because you know he is so protective of that place. You know, it's where his family's at.
Yeah, no, I believe that, you know, it was a big moment for Kate to go there and meet not only Laura but to meet his family. It's really cool. Like there's a lot I wanted to feel. Would I have liked to seen you know, them actually exchange Christmas presents and her receive that retractable compound bow? Yes. Would I have preferred to see that instead of 4.5 minutes of I Can Do This All Day, the musical? Oh my!
You just can't gift someone a bow though. That's not a thing you do. It's a very personal weapon in terms of the draw strength, the length, the actual.
And I don't think you get to tell Hawkeye whether or not he can gift somebody a bow.
You know,
I think Hawkeye would know.
He has to measure her arm width and, you know, what's her pull strength. It's not something you just give somebody.
Well, to answer that,
it's not something you give somebody.
To respond to that, Ricky,
Hawkeye could.
My dad once gave me a compound bow for Christmas, and I was not able to pull that drawstring initially. Like as a young man, when I received that gift, it wasn't until I was an adult that I could actually pull it, like draw the string. So he gave me the gift, but I couldn't do it. He didn't measure me.
Yeah, because it wasn't personalized to you.
He didn't measure you. Yeah,
he should have measured me. So.
But if you're saying that the guy who is named Hawkeye because he can hit every target can't accurately assess what her drawstring would be. The bow
he would have to gift her would have to be something custom, and I don't know if he had. I don't know if he had a few hours to spare while he's trying to save his family's life from Yelena. I mean,
if he can make a
custom bow,
you're really underestimating the resources. Yes, he has PIM particles on tap. You're downplaying the resources available to Hawkeye. It's kind of awkward.
Maybe they'll do it next year, Dennis. It'll be Christmas next year.
Why are people dunking on the Roger scene? It's a post-credit thing. Anything post-credit is not earned. You guys sound like spoiled children.
I know. That's what I've been saying.
Nobody wanted to see it. Nobody wanted it. It was something that we didn't like.
I'm saying that is the exact kind of thing that you put on YouTube to say, Merry Christmas, everyone. Here's this thing on YouTube. And instead, you give us a quick little scene of Julia Louis-Dreyfus visiting Vincent D'Onofrio in the hospital or following up on a thread that matters more. Why? Because we're going 5 months without knowing what this side of the universe is going to be doing.
We went more.
I am so confused by the things that you choose to be upset about and the things that you choose to demand.
Why are you upset about a post-credit musical. Like it's
because it was 4.5 minutes long with no payoff at all. There was no joke. There was no
cool.
anything.
It was fine.
It
was
was
cute.
it was
yeah,
not
it was cool.
Owl ate the gang members. Yeah, we were talking about that, Sir John.
Yes.
It was cute. They saw it as like a cute little Christmas present for everyone.
I
because
know.
The owl
and
did
the-
murder, like,
and
2 or 3
just the
people.
same way that I saw it cute when they put YouTube or they put Zemo on YouTube for an hour just
It's
dancing.
entirely
For
different.
10
It's cute.
hours.
It's cute.
Yeah,
It's not. It's something they recorded and they had the full video of, and they decided, what would be fun is to put this on YouTube. How is that different at all?
Because one's a
Yeah, because it's in
10
and they
second
just
clip.
put it in the
This is the whole
credit scene
scene.
this time.
No, it's an hour. They put an
And
hour of him recorded. They put an
It's
hour.
a
They
loop.
put
It's a loop footage.
they put 4.5 minutes of something that we kind of got to see in the background of the show, but they made it a thing. I saw a cool, funny video that showed like what it should have been, and when the song ends, it's just Yelena sitting in the audience, and she's like, "I waited 5.5 hours for this," and there's the joke.
That would have made it worth it.
Yes,
Yeah, I think so. I agree.
yes, that would have made it worth it.
They did focus on a character that I didn't even know who it was. I didn't know who that person was.
It just sounds spoiled. Like,
was he the conductor? What was he?
Credits is not.
That actually was Mark Shaman, the guy who composed the musical.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Now he
was it.
gets a
That
cool
was-
IMDb credit,
Yes.
and cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
you
really
but
get
you
the
hate-
anger either. But
But you
clearly
hate on my
you're in the
IMDb
minority.
knowledge when I
It's
when
not
I
a
post
real.
on
It's not a
videos.
real anger. It's more like I had better things to do with that 4 minutes. I could have done Jeopardy like I wanted
It was
to.
the
Like-
longest. It was the longest post credit scene we've ever gotten. And,
Ever?
And I kept waiting.
Like
for,
how is the Doctor Strange 2 trailer any different at the end of Spider-Man?
because it was awesome.
That was the first time it was released.
Yeah,
as
it
a
was the
trailer.
first time, and it was awesome.
That was the first time that full scene's released.
No,
And
we
it was
saw
I guess
not
the
awesome.
difference is just they didn't really like it that much, Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
because-
difference is taste.
because it,
I liked
was-
it.
because
You liked it? You enjoyed
because it didn't add anything to my experience. The Doctor Strange thing did. I got to see stuff I've never seen.
Yeah,
before.
I just thought it was like a funny riff on like how people Broadway eyes everything, and like the Hamilton style recasting everything. There were some lighting jokes in there for like
Sure.
theater geeks. So I thought it was
Agreed.
cute and fun. I wasn't
Agreed.
mad.
But you and I
Yeah.
had this exact same conversation 5
Yeah.
weeks ago, and we were fine with saying all of that about it then when we saw
Uh-huh.
that. So I'm saying this didn't add anything to that conversation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it let you watch the
it
whole
was
thing.
funny.
And
It
you
was
got to
funny.
see more of it, and there are actually additional theater jokes that they added into the beginning
Yeah.
with like the random dudes on the street having like an incredibly long solo for like no reason, which is a common thing that happened in musicals that we didn't get to see the first time. So there was added stuff. It's just you guys didn't like it, which is fine.
It's
You didn't
cool.
like it, you didn't like
Yeah,
it.
that's what this is all about,
we'll
right?
we'll
It's
have
us-
more MCU stuff in 5 months. and
Speaking
it'll
of
be
stuff that
good.
we didn't like, why don't you show us your ranked list of the MCU, Ricky?
Oh.
Ooh.
MCU.
Oh yeah,
for the
explain
year.
this because I didn't really understand what this was.
Well, we
I
were originally
didn't-
going to end the year off just ranking the content that came out this year, and we were going to come out with our own list. And for one reason or another, we scrapped that idea. But after I had made my list, so let me pull it up. Wasn't expecting you to call me out there, so
Oh, sorry. I screwed your thing up.
so you guys should fill time.
We can fill time. I didn't know you were going to be thrown off this much. So anyways, I was just trying to switch subjects because yes, I know we could hate on that thing a lot, and it is a personal opinion. Most of what we say on this show is personal opinion and is not, representative of
retirement
Marvel or anything
mandates.
else.
Yeah.
But we did talk about the possibility of ranking everything that came out this year, because whether or not we hate on it or laugh about it or love it, whatever, we did appreciate that Marvel gave us 9 different shows and movies to watch this entire year and talk about. We built the whole show off of it all year long. It was awesome. And so we talked about possibly doing a year in review where each of us take the time to rank them in order of what we like. Again, it's all opinion. And sometimes opinions are wrong, and that's okay.
Like Ricky's. Speaking
Or
of
different.
which, that
Yeah.
that
So
segues into this.
So we Frank and I kind of went off on a tangent this week, arguing about it, and he finally convinced me that it wouldn't be very fun if all of us individually took time to list 1 through 9 for each of them. But then Ricky went and made a visual, and I was like, "Well, you made it. We should use it." So this is Ricky's summary. You want to go through it, Ricky, really quick for this?
Yeah. So my number one film of
Why don't you start with the last one first? Start
Okay.
with lead up, build up to something. Build up. To
Black
something.
Widow. For me, it is a little underwhelming. And I do think it was a product of how that movie was, the release around it, and then the whole ScarJo situation.
Oh man, the ads are popping off.
Oh,
So many
these ads
ads.
are great. It just didn't do much for me in terms of her story, but it did give us Yelena, so that was cool. Next up with What If. I liked a lot of What If, but I think it was probably a few episodes too long. Again, the show was kind of a product of the pandemic, so you can't fault it in some areas, but it's still fun. Probably give us some cool characters that we're going to see in live action in the next year or so.
How do you feel that this was a product of the pandemic when they recorded it when Chadwick Boseman was still alive before the pandemic?
Because there's episodes that were cut because of the pandemic.
One episode was cut. But most of the shows were also. Most of the shows.
So
I didn't know. Well, I see what you're saying. You're saying this was released during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that came from the pandemic.
No.
I gotcha. I understand.
And then up next we got Eternals. That was kind of the wild card, I think, of the year. That was the one where I feel like people didn't really know what to expect in this movie.
By the way, this is Sir John's comment.
I love that comment. I love that comment more than I love anything that I've ever heard in my life.
It's true. What if anything showed people that Black Panther is the best character when he isn't in his own movie. It's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I
totally agree. Still stand by the statement that the Eternals is the best Justice League movie. On-screen representation of those powers,
but not the best Marvel movie. Apparently,
not the best Marvel movie of the year. That's okay. WandaVision number 6. That was fun. We got the show out of it, right? And that's what kicked us all off. But it also, was treading new territory. That was the first MCU show. So a lot was riding on that to see how that did. And for all its ups and downs, I thought it was entertaining. I know Frank didn't like it, but he still references Major Goodner.
Major Goodner, she's the best. No, I did like Wanda on the rewatch. When I watched my daughter react to it, I liked it a lot better because she reacted to things that I didn't react to, and I thought it gave me a broader understanding of the show and its purpose, and I enjoyed it more as a result of that.
I was just gonna say, honestly, hindsight is 2020, and like when I was reviewing everything, I was noticing like, man, we never had more energy than when we were talking about WandaVision. Like that show gave us so much to talk about,
right?
And it really did set the tone for the entire year. As much as I don't like certain things about it, it really did. It did knock it out of the park in a lot of good ways.
We get to see the seeds that it planted next year too,
yeah, which is exactly why I just want to see those kind of things in my post-credit scene. If you get to have that, why don't I get to have it? I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's fair.
Make a list.
I don't think that's fair.
You got to make your own list now.
Number 5, Hawkeye. It was a nice personal story. Felt very. I like the scope that they played in Hawkeye. They weren't reaching for the moon. They weren't putting Hawkeye in how to say it, exorbitant scenarios, right? It was a very grounded story for what it's worth, and very personal story. And it really allowed Hawkeye to shine as a character and also give us the Kate. Number 4, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I really liked where they were going with with the story of Sam and Bucky, just in terms of their friendship, but also touching the whole race issue that we have in this country and what it would mean to have a black man as Captain America. I don't necessarily think they handled it as perfectly as they probably could have, but just to dance around that subject to begin with and open that conversation, I applaud it for that. And I think your guys' is number one, right, with Spider-Man. That was my number 3. It was fun. It's a fun Spider-Man movie. It's a great Spider-Man movie.
I think it's a great MCU movie too.
Great MCU movie.
I think it honors the tradition of like respecting everything that happened in the MCU, but also respecting things that happen outside of the MCU. I think it pulled off something pretty big. Yeah, I think that the fact that it's in your number 3 spot says your entire list is bogus. So, it's cool. It's cool.
We all know it was gonna be a fun movie. Loki, I put number 2 because that was just insane week in and week out. I know Dennis wasn't a fan of the He Who Remains reveal, but I loved it. I mean that's some like big MCU storytelling beats right there that they were.
The journey was really good.
You know, to me that just proved that they weren't messing around with these shows. You know, like they're willing to put key beats in these series. And then number 1, Shang-Chi. I probably had the most fun in the theater with Shang-Chi. I liked the story. It was new. You know, Spider-Man for what it was great, but you know, it's Spider-Man. We've been down the Spider-Man train 9 times in the past 15, 20 years, right? You know, so Shang-Chi was new. It had a lot I think it needed to overcome with the Mandarin situation, and then making Shang-Chi not as a problematic character as he was originally written. And all in all, I had fun. It was just a fun movie. I'll agree with Frank and stuff that the third act was a little bonkers with the dragon, but
just Frank, not me.
Just
not
Frank.
Me.
He's not going to agree with you.
Just Frank. Yeah.
Quick aside.
Mm-hmm.
My friends on Discord are talking about how they think you're the poorest, Ricky, because you have the least amount of toys visible.
Okay, yeah, that's probably true.
They say
they're all behind me, but I am probably the poorest.
Nice.
I don't know why they're doing that, but that's pretty fun.
I appreciate the list you gave us, Ricky. It's pretty cool. I like that you put the time into putting that together. Lindsay, do you have any thoughts on his list?
Yeah, no, it's a cool list. I mean, just looking at all of these things, I think the thing I notice and appreciate most is Marvel moving into taking more risks with the format of their storytelling and really trying to think about representation and also trying to think about character and emotion-driven storytelling. Like even in Spider-Man, you know, it's a bunch of dudes talking about emotions and like hugging each other. So I appreciate that that's what the year brought in.
Selena, I'm just going to say, I mean, I know what you meant to do here was make that sound cool, but like if Ricky's can end up behind Rick, I mean, if Emmys can end up behind Ricky, then like what's an Emmy really worth, you know? I'm just saying.
Mean.
Wow.
That's good.
Sorry. No, it's funny to go off of what Lindsay said about dudes hugging in Spider-Man. That's literally what I wanted more from Marvel. I think we talked about it in like February or something, maybe March.
More dudes hugging.
Yeah, I was like
their
more
emotions.
Exactly.
Yes.
More dudes hugging, showing the emotions.
I'll take it a step notch. Show me dudes kissing.
Well, we got that in Turtles, from what I'm told.
Do it.
More dudes doing it missionary style.
More like women having relationships with each other that are meaningful.
Word.
Like
it tells me a lot that Ricky put Eternal so far down on that list, you know.
What?
I get it. I'm learning things here.
Was Eternals your number 7?
My number 7?
Did you rank Eternals higher or lower than I did?
Higher.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I'm so excited.
I don't think that's a knock on Eternals. I think it's just more of a we had a lot of great contents here.
I think Eternals is so much higher on my list because if you're gonna give Shang-Chi credit for being something new, I mean Eternals did new like times a million, They gave you like at least 11 new characters. They gave you representation up the wazoo. They went bonkers with it, man. And like, I appreciate them for doing everything they did. I just did a quick list right now while I was watching yours. I put obviously No Way Home at the top. I put What If right after that, then Loki, then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, then Eternals, WandaVision, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Shang-Chi at the bottom.
I think what Eternals should have done more than representation is put their movie up on streaming so that I could watch it finally.
It's going to be there in like 2 weeks.
I know. I'm just being I'm being a douche about it, but
I know.
Put all the movies on streaming.
I thought they were going to strike for
all of them.
For
all
the Christmas break.
I gave Black Widow $30. I would give Eternals $30 too to see it.
Yes.
Yeah, I would too. And and just to be clear, like I like everything. I like everything that we saw this year.
I'm giving Spider-Man $30 already.
I just like everything more than Shang-Chi. That's all. I like everything more than Shang-Chi. Even the Hawkeye show, which I've been dumping on for 5 weeks in a row now. I still like Hawkeye.
But it's a love dump. It's like when you have too much fiber and it's nice.
Exactly.
Like a love dump.
Exactly.
You can't not love Simu.
Yeah, that's a love dump. Yeah,
it's a love dump. And to be clear, also these 9 movies. I mean, without Eternals, I'm just assuming that, like they compare better to most movies.
I triggered her.
It's like a Hattori Hanzo sword, is like I always say. Like you can only compare it to other Hattori Hanzo swords.
I do not have an Emmy, just to be clear, but I do have a cool ass Sentinel behind me. Do you have one, Selena?
I almost had one.
I got to say the Sentinel wins.
Do we all agree the ending of Shang-Chi went full Ride of the Last Dragon? Yes, we do.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
we do pretty much.
I think we do, except for Ricky.
Ooh, what is that, Ricky?
Disagrees.
Yeah, it's a Lego.
Yeah. Oh,
he's gonna hug a Lego instead of an Emmy. It's pretty funny.
He's gonna
put all my most expensive
he's not gonna defend the Emmys. He's just gonna hug the Lego.
To be fair though, like my friends say that you're the poorest, but you have 50 billion Legos
on our camera.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ricky, you might have more Legos than I have Legos, and I have a mom that works at Legoland that gives me Legos as gifts every.
Yeah, you should. Occasion. I need to tap into that resource, right?
That's what I'm saying. She even gets rare Legos every so often.
By the way, Frank, sorry if I was interrupting you. I'm just trying to get all these comments addressed before we get out of here.
No, get them done. Yeah,
I think we do need to get out of here soon. So unless Frank, you have your own revision to that list that you want to just chime in on really quick, we should probably get going. I just listed mine really fast because I didn't want to go into the details. I thought Ricky did a nice job of listing all the cool things about each of the shows.
Yeah, good job, Ricky.
Yeah, good job, Ricky.
Yeah, it was cool.
I think Shang-Chi would go last, but not because I necessarily hated it, but just because
everything else was better than it.
Everything else is better than it, and that's just how it goes. Like I think Shang-Chi's better than most.
Frank likes Eternals.
Assuming I like Eternals,
I haven't seen Eternals.
I am absolutely assuming that Frank will like Eternals better than Shang-Chi. I don't think that's a tall order. I don't think it's a tall order.
We will know in 2 weeks' time for sure if I like Eternals.
I mean, it's like hindsight.
What's that?
We got 9
I'm
shows.
just showing random stuff on my desk off now.
What is that?
That's
hey, hold on a
second. Sword.
Yeah. Yesterday when I was asking you for a USB I was like, do you have a USB that I can borrow? No.
Is that from PAX?
I didn't remember what I had. I'm just like literally randomly looking through my desk and showing things on camera now.
I had one of those. I'm pretty sure I got that from PAX.
I've been playing with the Thor hammer for the past hour.
I showed this earlier, but here's this. I know. I'm not sure where my Thor hammer is right now.
I saw yours. It's on the counter behind you. Turn around.
You gotta just put your hand out.
Turn around, Lindsay. It's on the count. It's on the kitchen counter.
Did you do this?
Well, I have my green screen up, so.
Okay.
I have a fidget cube.
Ooh, I almost bought one of those for my desk.
And then you probably heard me clicking with this because I've been playing with this the whole time.
This
whole
magnets?
show. It's magnets.
Oh man, the Juggalos aren't going to know how those work.
They go on a pen.
Okay.
That is so cool.
This show is.
This is my other fidget that I like.
This show is definitely devolved into soapbox territory.
This has got
now we got Sir John doing a shout out to moms.
Yeah,
we should wrap it up.
Merry Christmas.
Well,
that's Dennis,
what's your most anticipated content for next year? Pick one.
These bad boys. That bowl is sick.
Is
I made
okay?
it.
Is it okay if I say the Flash?
Okay. Frank, what's your
Next
anticipated
year.
content for next year? Most anticipated content for next year?
Midnight Suns for sure.
I'm in the movie, by the way, not the
Yeah.
show. The show is
No, he meant what I do at the park in front of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah.
Lindsay?
I barely know what's happening to me any moment, so I don't know. I'll figure it out when the thing comes out, and then I'll
Miss
be like,
Marvel's next
"Ooh."
year.
No. I take it back.
I do
I
like
take it
Miss
back.
Marvel.
I take it back. Not the Flash. Into the Spider-Verse Part 2, or Across the Spider-Verse Part 2.
Ooh,
Part
yeah.
Is that next
any
year or is that- I
any
thought
into
that was
the Spider-Verse stuff.
October next year.
I'm obsessed with
Across the
any
Spider-Verse
animation.
is number one.
Anything else
I
with
think
Loki.
potential
yours, Ricky?
content. We're gonna find out who the Fantastic Four are next year, and I'm excited for that for some apparent reason.
Because you like to spoil.
You like
and you're
to-
already-
you like
That
to
was
get hurt.
that's a big pillar of the MCU, right? So
you've been told.
so I've been told. So it'll be cool to see who they pick.
In fairness, you
And-
did read Secret Wars this year, so
Mhm.
proud of you for that one.
So-
That's pretty good. I think it's more that Doctor Doom is a big pillar of the.
I
the
lumped
Marvel
that
universe.
announcement into the Fantastic Four. No.
Yeah, no, for sure. Doctor Doom is one of the greatest villains ever in the Marvel
Mhm.
universe, and so this MCU, which is kind of failing to find like an actual direction, needs that. So yeah,
Read Hickman's Doom. It's so good. I liked it.
I'm not a giant fan of Hickman, but I did like his X-Men story. All right, Lindsay's just showing stuff randomly now, so I'm gonna do the formal wrap up because she's definitely got to go. This was
All
our
right.
longest episode of the year, I think. So it is time to wrap this
I'm
up,
hungry,
true
man.
believers. I know you are.
Summer
I just took a
sausage.
screen cap of the Emmy behind you, Ricky, just to show the Discord people, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Nice.
Dang.
There's two right there.
You
so
know what, Ricky?
Oh,
you never
damn.
need to prove yourself to Discord people, ever.
You always need to prove
Yeah.
yourself to Discord
It's
people.
like a step up
Exactly.
from the LARPers.
So-
I'm bringing some BC into your Marvel
Oh, wait,
podcast,
hold on.
suckers.
I'm definitely trying
Oh, shit, Constantine?
to wrap this up
Hell
here.
yeah!
We're
He just
off
stares at
next
me.
week, but we plan to return in the new year with more fun, mostly Marvel discussions. I think one of the first things that we have available is as a Peacemaker, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We didn't even talk about the fact that we could do Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So that's coming in January, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Few weeks.
Yeah. There you
in
go.
just a couple weeks.
And then thanks to Lindsay, Ricky, and Frank for nerding out with us today.
Yeah.
Lindsay, feel free to take a moment to let people know where they can find you really quick.
Yeah, you can find my art and illustration at seacowsoda.com or find out
Don't-
more about my work at seacowsoda on Instagram
Yeah,
or
don't worry, Ricky.
seacowsoda.com.
I'll click the button since you're playing with Legos.
Yeah.
There you go. Is that correct down there at the bottom, Lindsay?
Yep.
Art illustration at seacowsoda.com.
Yeah, I wanted to do a mac and cheese something with Elena, so
Looks good to me.
soon.
Nice.
That's sick.
All right.
Maybe I'll do like
Cool.
a hot sauce label.
I want to do a recipe with that.
Hell yeah, let me know.
Heck yeah.
And thanks to our patrons for supporting our growth and to our audience for tuning in. If you had fun, Frank, please remind them what they can do.
Smash that like button the way Kazi got smashed by Maya in last episode. I
Yeah.
could have said Kingpin, I guess. Kingpin would have been better. Ugh. Can we do a
Well,
retake?
but then they would like
that was
unlike
live?
it.
Oh,
They would have to unlike it like a couple months later. So
that
don't do
is true. That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Keep it to
that's true.
Kazi.
Go and subscribe, leave comments, participate, do whatever you like. Watch Spider-Man. Definitely watch Spider-Man.
It's pretty good.
And I think with that, everyone, as a reminder, you can find us on Denix Media as well. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I am going to take next week to take time to put more of our ridiculous stuff on TikTok since we're not going to be doing a show. So
Woo-woo.
look out for all the random stuff that's going to be up there. But yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching Den Excelsior. Happy holidays, everyone. Enough said.
Merry Christmas,
Happy
happy
New Year.
holidays.